beautiful morning. I am being joined, as usual, by our in-house barrister, Adanna. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ruth.
Oh, yeah, we didn't hear that.
Good morning, Ruth.
Okay, now we heard that. All right, so good to have you this morning on the program.
Same here.
It's always an exciting time as you give us insights into anything pertaining to the law. It's pro bono, and that means we give you free advice, free legal advice. So it's either we're talking about something or you're calling to make us talk about it because it matters to you, but then we tell it to you the way it is, the way you want to hear it, because, well, that's how it is according to the law. The interesting part about it is that it is free of charge. So you get to call in and ask your questions if you're having any
Views over the concerns freedom and equality of practices by a group of people to have limited access to their choices, you know. And then when we talked about regardless of their gender and tribe, I'm sure that is well understood. And the term equality of opportunity, some people mistake it to mean uniformity. That is, we are all going to be on the same page regardless of where you're coming from, what you're coming for, and your choices and all. However, if life was going to be seen like that we are all going to be on the same pedestal, we are going to have the same clothes, drive same kind of car, restricted to the number of children we have, that would be so intolerable and boring.
It sounds like this sci-fi kind of movies, all the science fictitious movies where you see a world where humans are more like machines, they're like robots, and everybody walks in a certain way, they wear the same kind of clothes and all that. It really looks dry, boring.
Very dry and boring.
But you're saying that's not what it's
that's not what
uniformity.
we're talking about today yet. We're not
Okay.
talking about equality to mean uniformity.
Okay.
Equality of opportunity is very attractive. When people hear it, they go haywire. However, we're limiting it to certain scope. And that is, we're referring to equality before the law of the land. We're referring to equality to have rights to education. We're referring to equality in the place of your employment. We're referring to equality as regards the sociocultural practices in Nigeria. So these are our main focuses so that we can explain in details, what we actually mean. Sometimes,
so let's have the instances, about this space.
Yes. We will have those instances. Sometime in 2016, a bill known as the Gender and Equality Opportunities Bill was proposed in the Senate, and it didn't pass the second reading. It was not voted up down there, and it was because of our cultural rights and religious beliefs.
But that's interesting. For the bill to even come up in the first place, it means we had a problem.
Okay.
Some people must have felt sidelined, that possibly because I am from this part, or I am like this or like that, that is why I was not opportune to have this.
Yeah.
So what are usually like the challenges, the problems that people face? That is making us to have this conversation about having equal opportunity.
Before I pinpoint the problems here, I'll talk about the provision of our law. Now, our 1999 Constitution, that's the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, had provided for equality of opportunities and human rights in chapters 2 and chapters 4. However, of course, it's written in our legislation, but how practicable is it? Now, one of the challenges is the equality of women and men, like gender equality in political participation. Now, of course, it's specified in the Constitution that we all have equal rights to freedom of participation in politics, freedom to vote and be voted for, an election, all of that.
But somehow it looks like some are being denied this freedom.
Somehow it's not practicable, and it's not practicable because of where we're coming from.
Where are we coming from?
Where culture and tradition supersedes over the enforcement of laws.
So should we dump the customs and traditions?
We're not dumping them, but there's a need to eliminate certain practices. Yeah, that is why this law was proposed. That's one of the reasons it was proposed.
Okay.
Yes, the need for elimination of discrimination as regards sociocultural practices. there's a need for elimination as affects discrimination in employment, in educational affairs, in discrimination that concerns women, especially when it has to do with cultural practices, and then as to certain laws that has been put in place too. However, I was talking about the bill that didn't pass the second reading. It didn't pass, and so far, the bill had certain purposes for which it was brought into proposal. Now, one of which is which was to prohibit the discrimination on the ground of gender, age, and the rights of disability, persons with disability to at least participate in certain fairs that concerns our life as Nigerians. The bill also had the essence to promote equality, full development, and advancement of persons within the society, regardless of where you're coming from, your tribe, your gender, and all of that.
Yeah, but these are the problems. I mean, like I was trying to, to point out earlier, like these are the things that were seen from the beginning. And that's why, the whole thing about the bill came up in the first place, to see how these problems can be addressed. Yeah,
that's true.
Because I'm sure that at some point in time, some women might have felt left out, for instance, when it came to politics. Or sometimes you are looking for a certain type of job, especially if it's, government kind of, you may not have access to it. And you may see it as, a sort of discrimination because of the part of the country that you're coming from. So these are some of the problems that
I will give example to some of these issues. There's the elimination of discrimination in the fair of education. When you come to some places here, they have certain benefits accrued to studies in Nigeria. Let's say scholarships, bursaries, and study grants. Sometimes it's for a particular kind of people, or for a particular kind of tribe, or particular kind of gender. And that is where we are looking at this bill being relevant if it was actually passed. And then we're also looking at, the essence of our 1999 Constitution being enforceable, so that issues like this can be curbed. I'm sure you've had instances like that too. Now, for employment, another example I can give in the sector of employment is where equal opportunities are not given to persons in employment as regards to, let's say, promotion, training, some choices as let's say training and some form
like there are certain offices that cannot be headed by a female.
Exactly, some positions that cannot be headed by a female. They don't even see it to be possible. So the essence of this bill was to eliminate all of that. However, the main purpose was to make effect the provision of our 1999 Constitution as it concerns equality of persons and the practice of persons to have equality to opportunities, and also to effect international conventions that concerns human rights and domesticates the Convention on Elimination of Discrimination Against Women. Now, because most of these issues actually accrues to having equality of rights practicable amongst the gender. Yes. And then most times people who have the heat are the women in the society. So
as it's very obvious, we see the number of women being represented in politics, for instance. I mean, we keep going back to these are very public
issues.
Public issues, the things that we see around.
Yeah. And then example coming down to if I'm to give an example, coming down to the socio-cultural practices. Yeah, socio-cultural practices. We see instances where, women who are widows experience degrading treatments.
True.
And they have some very cultural placements that are very inhumane to their nature. by the virtue of the fact that they're experiencing what they are experiencing at that point in time. So the essence of this bill was even to eliminate all of those practices as regards inheritance, as regards their ability to remarry, as regards their ability to even live in the house of their deceased husband and have rights to certain things within the society. If you have heard, till date, most of these cultures and traditions or practices are still obtainable,
because
even if the law eliminates
it.
Yes,
it's quite sensitive.
It's quite sensitive.
Yeah, as much as the law, may want to, will I say review it? Many people would want to hold on to their customs and traditions because it's more like a way of something that defines them, that gives them, that just defines you, makes you who you are.
That's true.
It's more like you're trying to take this away from us, and so they would stand to fight for it. So how far, has this gone? I mean, you said the law has not been assented to, so it's not even been made law just yet. It's not even been made law.
It's not made law.
Okay.
It wasn't passed at all. But then the 1999 Constitution, which is our supreme law, is not silent to the fact that these things have been also recognized or put in place for practice. So the 1999 Constitution, for instance, Section 17 had provided for equality of persons to have same obligations and opportunities as it concerns every sphere of life in Nigerian society. So the 1999 Constitution is not silent on that.
On it.
Yes.
Well, interestingly, as we are still focusing on equality of opportunity, we mentioned so many spheres of life, and one of them is when we're talking about employment, the workplace, for instance. Sometimes some people have suggested that it may make a lot of sense if you have like your entire staff on a flat rate kind of
that's not possible.
Is that
is not
could that
possible.
amount to equal opportunity?
No, that points down to what I earlier mentioned concerning some people's views when you talk about equality of opportunity. It's not possible for for equality of opportunity to mean uniformity.
Okay.
That is not what we are talking about. We're talking about equality of opportunity to mean when people have choices to make, and they have the freedom to make those choices, not to limit others, not to the disadvantage of others, however, still meeting with their valuable goals in life. So it has nothing to do with everybody having to be on the same platform. However, people should have satisfaction to their various choices and to reach their desirable goals.
I mean, I will not find it funny if I were to come, to a workplace. I know I have a lot of experience, and then there's this person who, let's just call the person a rookie. The person doesn't know, and then there's this, and you want me to accept, to be paid the same stuff and all that. So it really will not. Okay, but then that's not what we're talking about when we talk equality of opportunity.
People who are striving for equality of opportunity seem to face, same relevant kind of obstacles in reaching out to their desirable goals.
Okay.
For instance, if we're in this office and let's say we don't have same kind of career, but then we need to strive.
But
every
we're
day of our life.
Look at us here. We're doing like the same thing at this point.
We needed to work for this to happen. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
We need to experience same kind of obstacles to get to a particular point. But then there's no denial and there's no limitation. There's no denial and say, oh, well, Ruth, I don't think you should take Adana because, Adana, there's no, so we have rights, we're exercising equality of rights. And there's no denial like, okay, Ruth, Adana is she's Igbo, you are from so place, so you guys cannot sit together and have this conversation because you're from the different parts of Nigeria. So that is not what equality of opportunities is.
So it should be something more like merit, like if you deserve it, if you have the qualification, regardless of where you're from, regardless of your tribe or gender, if you are qualified, then it should be yours. That's what we're saying, yeah?
Yes, and the law recognizes it.
Okay.
That's what we're saying.
Interesting. You can be a part of the conversation. It's Pro Bono Chambers. Today we're looking at equality of opportunity in our society, regardless of gender or tribe. Do you have any questions so far based on our conversation with Adanna, or you have other legal matters that have concerned you and you want to find some answers? Feel free to call the number 081 89991011. Hello?
Yes, hello, good morning.
Morning to you. Welcome to the program. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Umar. I'm calling from the Upper Road.
All right, Umar. You need to stay away from your radio.
Okay, let me ask it. Yes, I just want to appreciate what you people are doing in this picture.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just keep doing good. My regard to Ahmed is that the ordinary president.
Thank
All right,
you.
then. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Yeah, thank you. No, I don't have any contribution, just keep doing good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Love.
Regardless, it's still a contribution. He contributed in telling us, well done.
Thank you for
Well,
calling.
we appreciate
Mr.
your call. 081 89991011. That's the number to call.
Hello?
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is
Your name is?
Ignatius.
Okay.
I'm calling from Mesanwa. So,
All right.
I want to contribute. The topic of people are discussing this morning is a very interesting one.
Okay, thank
If you
you.
look at it critically, you find out that some customs and traditions have suffered, especially widows. That you infringe on their rights so much that some of them have to pass through so many things because their husband is dead. Some of them will get to the extent of being accused of killing their husband. And these have not been fair at all. Not been fair. I wish that anything can be done so that this kind of thing cannot be happening again in this country. But yes, we are in Nigeria, but Nigeria is not a small place. Even international communities, they are observing things on certain things that is happening. And if there is any other thing that can be done to address this issue, I think it will do us a lot of good. Yeah. So
All
that
right.
was my only contribution.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So I heard what he said, and
The measures
the
taken.
measures,
Okay.
that has been taken so far, and the bill also looked at that's provision or the international conventions and treaties being effective as it concerns our community and all of these first that we earlier mentioned.
Pro Bono Chambers continues after this commercial break. Stay with us.
Human Rights Radio.
Kedu ife ịchọ? Ọ bụ ife eji esi nri, ọ bụ akwa na akpụkpọ ụkwụ, ka ọ bụ akpa ụmụ gị ji eje akwụkwọ na ife iji achọ mma. Gbalubịa Halibis Mall, isi ụlọ ngwaahịa anyị dị na plus 660 Cadastral Zone B1, Franca Febua Crescent Zone E, Apo Legislative Quarters, Gudu District, Abuja. Anyị nwekwara ụlọ ngwaahịa anyị ọzọ na number 1 Medical Center Road, Maraba, Abuja. Nke ikpeazụ bụ na number 21 Sariki Meizabo Road, opposite FMC, Kefi, Nasarawa State. Gwa anyị na ekwentị. Akara ekwentị ị ga-eji nweta anyị bụ 081 ka mkpọkwa ya n'olu ndị iti 08159510000. Halibis Mall nwere ife niile ị chọrọ n'ofu ebe. Ngwaahịa anyị adịrị ọnụ ma dịrị mma nke ukwuu. Gbalubịa na Halibis Mall. Nnọọ.
Welcome, my dear friends.
Human Rights Radio. Your 100% effort is not good enough.
You know.
Give me 101.1 effort.
Join our diverse team of legal experts as we provide education and guidance to you, our listeners, on a broad array of issues raised by the modern legal landscape, absolutely free on Pro Bono Chambers, airing on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting.
A wasu shekarun tarihi da yawa can baya, ɗan adam ya tsinci kansa ne cikin wata irin rayuwa mara tsari. Ka sha wahala ka nemo da guminka wanda ya fi ka da matsu ya tare ka ya amshe. In ka yi gardama ka ci duka, ka sharɓi kuka irin na cikin zuciya komai zub da ruwa sharaf-sharaf babu inda za ka kai kukan ka share. Tafiya ta tafiya al'umma suka fara kagauta da samarwa kawunan su hukuma don sadaukar da haƙunan su ta kare. To kuwa ashe tunda dai ita kanta gwamnatin da sahalewar mabiya aka samar, ya zama wajibi a samu hanyoyin sako su cikin sha'aninta su san me ke faruwa don nuna gamsuwa ko kuwa jan hankali da kalubalantar bangaren da ya karkace don mahukunta su ƙara saita sahunsu. Zauren 'yan majalisu da 'yan siyasa na gidan rediyon Human Rights wani tanadi ne ga 'yan ƙasa mai matsayin wata ƙofar shiga cikin sha'anin jagoranci dumu-dumu. A dama a kurɓe tare da jama'a ba tare da barin su can gefe ba. Shirin zauren 'yan majalisu da 'yan siyasa na zuwa gare ku ne tun daga Litinin har zuwa Alhamis da misalin karfe 11 na kowace safiya daga gidan rediyon Human Rights mita 101.1.
Human Rights Radio.
Thank you for staying with us. Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, and it's still Pro Bono Chambers this beautiful morning in the nation's capital. I am still Ruth, and Adanna is here, Barrister Adanna, our in-house lawyer. On the program today, we're looking at equality of opportunity in our society, regardless of gender or tribe. If you have any questions about that, just call in and ask your questions. If you also have other legal matters, things you want to ask that are very different from our focus of discussion this morning, feel free to do that because it's pro bono and we're ever ready to answer all of your questions right here on the program. The number to call is 081-8999-1011. Hello? Good morning.
Yeah, Ignatius calling back again.
Who?
Ignatius.
Good morning.
Yes. Okay, I'm calling back again. Please, I have a problem that I want to know if I know what I can do about it.
Okay.
I work with a company.
Okay.
I was employed by a company last year, November. And I was supposed to be with the company from that November to February without any salary. So I have to resign the job. But after my resignation, in less than 1 month, the company folded. But I still have access to the director and some people that are some managers of the company, not my manager. I don't know if there is anything I can do. I need to take, even if it's part of my salary. You don't need to work with them for 5 months without any kind of food. And nobody saying anything about it. I want to know if there is anything I can do.
Okay. How long were you owed?
Huh?
5 months.
How long? Okay, he was owed for 5 months.
4 months.
4, okay.
4 months. Do you have your employment letter?
Yes, I have employment letter.
The original one, right?
Yes, I have employment letter.
Okay. And then you said you terminated your employment with them. Did you resign?
Huh?
Did you resign?
Hello?
Did you resign?
Yeah, I resigned.
Okay. Do you have a copy of your resignation letter?
Yes.
Acknowledged by the office? Is
Did
that
not acknowledge it. I submitted it to them and they are still waiting to acknowledge it too. The manager permitted me that I can go to the resigned. They will send me my acknowledgement letter. Before I could get back there, I found out that the company is no longer functioning.
okay? Yes, you are entitled to the salaries that you had worked for the period of 4 months. And yes, if you had worked consecutively for the period of 4 months from the month 1 to the end, you're entitled to the salaries.
I worked for 5 months, but they paid me just for 1 month.
Okay, so you're entitled to your salary. So even if the company had folded, it doesn't mean you're not entitled to the salaries. So you can go to the National Industrial Courts and institute your matter there. You would get justice done.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
I'm not hearing you very well.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yes, I say you can go to National Industrial Courts. Oh, sorry about that. So he has 2 options. It's either he goes to the courts or goes to an alternative dispute resolution house, like a multi-door courthouse, to seek for his payments and entitlements to be paid to him. So it's either he goes to the National Industrial Court and institutes a matter, or he goes to a multi-door courthouse, which is an alternative dispute resolution house, where the matter can be mediated upon, and his money will be gotten from the employer. By God's grace, though.
Okay, by God's grace. Okay, hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, I think we lost that one. Feel free to call back 081-8999-1011. That's the number to call. It's Probono Chambers on Human Rights Radio 101.1, where we offer free legal advice. I'm here with our in-house barrister, and she will be giving all the answers. Even though we have been talking about equal opportunity in our society, regardless of gender or tribe. So if you have any questions as regards that, feel free to call in, or if your questions are related to some other things, it's all the same. Call in and have your questions answered. The number is 081-8999-1011. Hello? Hello? Okay.
So
hello?
There's no voice coming from there.
Oh.
Okay. Good morning to you. Welcome. Can you hear me? All right. I'm not sure about the quality of this call. Can you hear me? I'm afraid you have to call back because I think it's breaking up, so that I cannot make sense of what you're saying. Please try and call back. It's 081-8999-1011. That's the number to call. The network is actually misbehaving. So we'll take we'll listen more from Barrister Adana.
So going
based
by our
on
topic,
the topic,
yes. Going by with the topic we just introduced this morning concerning equality of opportunities regardless of your gender or tribe, we'll have to say that equality of opportunities is a tool to effect a justiciable society where persons will not have limitations or obstacles to making their choices of life or reaching out for their desirable goals. The essence of equality of opportunity is not for us to come and talk on theory. It is for us to make it practicable, to effect it.
So what are we doing in this regard, really?
What we're doing in this regard is to sensitize people out there, letting them understand that the Nigerian Constitution recognizes that you have equal rights and you have equal entitlements as citizens of Nigeria. And that is found in our chapters 2 and chapters 4 of the 1999 Constitution. And that is practicable and enforceable. Especially that in chapter 4.
Okay.
But then, where to go about it, how to go about it, seems gloomy. That's how I'm going to put it, because nobody really goes about it. We talk about it, we complain about it, we nag, but we don't really go around it.
So when was the last time, so to speak, that it was revisited or something was said about it?
2016, the bill was revisited, and then the issues that were raised for the reasons why the bill wasn't passed were also revisited.
And what was the resolution at the time?
I wasn't there.
I was hoping you were there. Well, at least you have some.
Yes. Yes, it was just revisited. Yeah.
Okay.
And the Senate President is looking at, the bill being scrutinized and perhaps going through the readings again. That is the resolution.
Okay.
So,
well, I think it's something that should really be given
a
proper
second,
attention.
second attention.
Because I don't want, as a Nigerian, I don't want to feel disadvantaged. I don't want to feel like I'm being discriminated upon based on where I'm coming from, based on my gender, when I need a job, or just to fulfill some of my civic duties. Someone is holding me back just because they have an idea about me. That should not.
At the course of my research, something came into my head, and that is this. I'm very sorry if that offends anybody, but then I was thinking, if Abuja is a federal capital territory, that means anybody could be a minister of the federal capital territory, coming from anywhere in Nigeria, right?
Starting from me, minister.
Starting from me. So that is what we're looking at. So that's like an example of what equality of opportunity.
But then at this point, it sounds like wishful thinking.
Of course, it seems so impossible. Yeah, really impossible. And let's take a look at this quota thing that they do in schools or workplaces. They have a particular quota that should come from different zonal areas in Nigeria for them to work in a particular place or school in a particular place. I'm sure that is their way of trying to exercise the equality of opportunities for every person, even if there's still a little exercising of tribe, tribalistic, or some form of gender considerations that still plays a role in this. But then I think that's an example of how equality of opportunities has been, put in place or made effective for the benefit of Nigerian citizens.
So if this were to be passed into law, what are the benefits we stand to gain as a people?
One of the benefits is that we are just going to not have limitations as to our going for our desirable goals, especially as it concerns our lives and the values of life that we really want to enjoy. So persons will have the ability to contest for positions of their choices, as long as they meet up with the provisions of the law. The constitutions or the electoral act,
about persons living with disabilities,
exactly,
how they don't have access to many things.
Especially persons with disability, if we're talking about that, and gender too, like women. Persons will have the opportunity to go for the careers of their suggested. So those are one of the benefits.
Some of the benefits.
Yes.
All right. Keep the calls coming in. Our network has just been going on and off, but it's on right now, so feel free to call, and let's hope your call connects. The number is 081-8999-1011. That's 081-8999-1011. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Welcome to Probono Chambers. Are you very close to your radio?
Hello?
Are you very close to your radio? I can't tell what's making that sound.
Can you hear me now?
Of course I can. What's your name?
Okay, my name is Ibe.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, I really have a complaint I wanted to make.
Okay.
Yeah, a few months ago, actually somebody in Uber transportation, either a worker, that was what I learned when the issue came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the guy came, because the guy, I have a shop, so the guy actually came with one Toyota vehicle and asked me to borrow him money. So, and when I was borrowing him that money, I borrowed him that money like 3 to 5 times, three times or 5 times. But I have all the documents where me and him signed and the amount he borrowed. So I borrowed him up to 816,000 naira. So now, when the guy now left the vehicle in my custody, that okay, that he's going to pay me back. As a matter of fact, that in fact he lied to me that he has a problem that in the family the mother died and all that. So I now pitied him. That was why I now had to borrow him money because they say they are sharing this thing that he is the owner of the car, and I should borrow him the money. That after some time, like 1 week, he will bring back the money to me.
Okay. Is that the case?
I think
Hello?
something is wrong with the connection. Hello? Okay, for whatever reason, we cannot hear you anymore. I'm going to have to end the call, and I do hope you will call back, okay? You just went quiet, really. I cannot tell what went wrong there. Well, maybe when he calls back, we'll get to ask him if he knew him before then.
Yeah,
I don't
before
know.
the lending of money. And then he also, if he has any agreement signed between him and this guy,
Yeah,
if
I think
not,
he mentioned that.
Yeah, exactly. So he's in a safe place if he has all that in place.
But what I'm thinking is the car does not belong to him, because I think he was saying he lied to him that the car was his own or something.
You can go
like
to the
that.
police and make the reports. That is, the guy obtained whatever he obtained from him, like money, under forceful pretense of what he wasn't and what he didn't have. So he can go to the police and make the reports, and the guy be investigated. That is just the best advice.
Well,
I
let's
can
hope
give
he
to
can
this
still
case.
have a hold on this person
guy,
in
so that we
question.
can, yes, exactly, so that we can get more information from him concerning this whole money process. So since he has all the documents in place, there is no cause for alarm, really.
All right. Sorry about that. It's just, the phone network. I wish there was something I could do about it right now, but then just keep trying, and I hope you get through. 081-8999-1011. That's the number to call. And yeah, to the last caller, what you just said is if he has any document that shows agreement between him and this person, he should
Or the
take it to
transfer of
police.
funds.
Yeah, even the transfer of funds.
He can make a case.
And yeah, if it's just the transfer of funds, I mean, as a proof, I can just say you're my friend and you decided to send that money to me, and but then I think the agreement
depends,
the agreement should
That's true.
be what would speak more in his defense. All right, many apologies if you are unable to call back. We would really have loved for you to call back, but the network is not supporting that. But let's just see how it goes. So, in your final thoughts on the whole equality in opportunity that we have been talking about, how do we move it forward?
I feel no one should be unfairly disadvantaged as regards to their choices in life, and I feel that equal opportunities should be understood from the fares that we have mentioned, and not seeing that if you do not have what qualifies you to be on the same pedestrian with another, you will still go on fighting for equal opportunities. So your equal opportunity is measured by where you are at the point in time and what you're able to have obtained to fight for your equality of opportunity. However, the general provision is that you should not be discriminated, and that you should be entitled to certain opportunities regardless of your age, your gender, and your tribe. That's just it.
All right, so we should have this opportunity, especially if we have the required tautology. I wanted to say required requirements. Well, if we are qualified or have certain requirements that are needed for any position at all, gender, our age, our so sometimes age also plays a factor. Really, we haven't really talked much on that. There are some things that some quite young, energetic people may want to engage in, and they say,
and they
because you look young, you may not be responsible just yet, and so they would want to give it to someone who they assume to be more responsible, and it's not always the case, really. And so you've really, put the other person, the younger person, in a disadvantaged situation.
That's true.
Just because of our personal perception.
That's true.
Well, so many things for us to consider if we really want a society whereby everyone will feel like, hey, I have almost everything, at my disposal as much as the other person, especially if we are qualified for them. Okay, so many apologies to those who are unable to call at this point because of the phone line. But then we also have to go at about this time. So thank you so very much to those who were able to call in, and thanks to our in-house barrister, Adana.
Thank you.
It's been a
Ruth, for
pleasure having you here.
Same here. Thank you very much.
All right, so we'll do this again tomorrow. My name is Ruth, and God willing, I will see you around 5 in the morning tomorrow. In the meantime, stay with us on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. Infomercial will be up next, and there are so many eyes looking at me right now. Hi, Shola. Okay, so stay with us, and more of our program is coming your way on Human Rights Radio. My name is Ruth Usman, and it's been a pleasure.